Like if you found the video valuable. Lena Marquez had always chased the strange. She traveled far from the city's noise to a small farming village she'd only read about in an obscure folklore journal. The article mentioned something called the Harvest Moon Feast, celebrated once every 10 years. No photographs, no videos, only vague accounts of a night when the land comes alive. When Lena arrived, the air felt different, thick, almost charged. The villagers eyed her with suspicion. A woman in a tattered shawl finally spoke, her voice like dry leaves. "Leave before the moon rises, child. We don't open our doors that night." Lena smiled politely, pretending to agree. But she had come here for that very night. The evening began quietly enough. The horizon bled orange as the full moon slowly emerged, larger than any she'd seen. She grabbed her camera and walked to the edge of the wheat fields, the stalks swaying though there was no wind. Through her lens, she saw something impossible. The soil was darker, wet-looking, and it seemed to ripple, like water under a thin layer of earth. She took a few shots, adjusting her focus. That's when she noticed movement deeper in the field. A figure stood among the wheat. At first, she thought it was a scarecrow. The posture was stiff, the head tilted. But then it turned toward her. Its eyes reflected the moonlight, too bright, too human. Another shadow appeared beside it. Then another. She lowered her camera. "Hello?" she called out. The figures didn't answer. They just leaned forward, almost like plants bending toward sunlight. Then they began to walk. Back in the village, distant doors slammed shut. She heard muffled chanting from somewhere, low, rhythmic, ancient. The shadows in the field multiplied. Her camera clicked. One frame. Two. She zoomed in and gasped. One of the faces looked exactly like the woman from the shawl. Another like the man who'd served her tea that afternoon. But these people were in their homes, weren't they? The chanting grew louder, but it wasn't coming from the houses anymore. It was all around her, seeping from the ground, from the plants, from the air itself. The first figure broke from the field into the open path. Its skin was pale and stretched, mouth too wide, hands clawed and dirt-caked. And yet, its eyes still had that same human glimmer. "Leave the field," it said in a distorted echo of the shawl woman's voice. Lena took a step back. "What are you?" Its smile widened. "We are the harvest." Behind it, dozens more emerged, men, women, even children, all with faces she recognized from her brief stay in the village. Their movements were jerky but purposeful, their bodies bending unnaturally, as if pulled by unseen strings. She turned to run, but the soil beneath her boots shifted. It heaved, rising like a breathing chest. A black hand broke through, grasping at her ankle. She screamed, kicking free, stumbling backward toward the road. But the villagers, if they were still villagers, closed in from both sides. "Please," she begged, "I don't understand." The shawl woman's double stepped forward, tilting her head in eerie imitation of compassion. "The soil must feed. We are the soil. You are the seed." Lena's camera slipped from her fingers as cold hands gripped her arms and legs. She was lifted off the ground, carried toward the center of the field. The moon hung heavy above, casting silver light on the black earth. They lowered her into the dirt. It was warm, too warm, and it moved, shifting over her skin like water. She fought, screamed, but the chanting swelled until it filled her skull. The last thing she saw before the soil closed over her face was the moon, now tinged a deep, hungry red. The wheat swayed gently in the night, and the village went silent once more. In 10 years, the harvest moon would rise again.